I'm going to kick right into gear on my fiery rant, one of the segments I do on the show here. And my rant today is really about the suspension of Franco Escobar and the way that MLS as a league is now using VAR as a post facto way to go back and change the decision that a referee made on the field. I've got my problems with how VAR works during the game as a way to do that, especially on a issue that the center ref has already made a decision on. And you've got a group of people who are looking at monitors, going through instant replay. Say a bunch of people may know a lot about soccer. You can guarantee that they all have different opinions on that play with Franco Escobar. I guarantee you if you went to ESPN FC and you had your pundits talking about it, you'd have different viewpoints. One thing I think they would all agree on is it was a poor challenge. It was a bad foul. But the referee on the field at the time was right there and chose not to throw any cards. And there was certainly a scuffle afterwards. It was a lazy tackle. One thing I will say is it certainly wasn't one that was a leg breaker or anything like that. It was just, again, a bit of a trip. It was kind of nasty in that way in terms of being unprofessional as a professional foul because it was so, it was clear he intended to do it. But to go back, days after a game and, have a suspension for something like this when the referee on the field didn't issue any cards in the field. I think you just need to move on. If not, then you become a league that it would only make sense that you would have people who are fully committed as a committee to be watching the games on replay constantly and figuring out if somebody did something malicious based on their opinion. So that is a really slippery slope that the MLS is going down by using VAR in a way to do this, because there's so much gray in these types of things that, why open that Pandora's box? But that's it. There's a couple other things I could rant about. We're going to get into it on this podcast. And Dave, my co-host.
Are you saying that hindsight is 2020, Mikey Dobbs?
We're going to talk about it all. Hindsight is 2020. And yeah, I mean, it's just, there's some things that are silly in terms of, using technology to make the game better. And I think this is one that is really crossing the line.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. Like, you can go back and you can look and you can evaluate and you can, and it's worse than a slippery slope.
All right. Thanks for listening. If anybody actually made it this far in the podcast, I'd love to hear your feedback on Twitter at ATL On Fire. And tell your friends to subscribe. We are on iTunes, Google Play, and really any sort of podcast platform that you're